All right. Hey guys, nice to meet you all, nice to see you all. Some familiar faces. All right, so today we're gonna be talking about the top 1% of founders and how to actually become that person, okay? And the way I figured out how to do this, it took me $70,000 of tuition fees. It took me a lot of life experience and a lot of hardships going through, the lessons. So I wanted to share this with you so you don't have to go through all that and spend all that money. And I wanted to give you this experience because it's going to be absolutely life-changing, okay? So the slides are extremely valuable. So I'm gonna give you a moment to scan them and just grab the slides so you can be fully present in the moment. So they'll just get sent to your email at the end of day today. We're just scanning the slides if you want a copy. Cool. Okay, so in March 2020, when COVID hit, I got laid off. It was great. It was the time of my life. I got to do whatever I wanted as soon as the world was ending. And a lot of people had those hard times. A lot of people were like, what do I do? Couldn't see their friends, but I was like, okay, now I can finally lock in, and now I can finally have the time to become a millionaire. So how do I do it? Okay, I have all the time. There's no excuses. I'm not just gonna, do something else in that moment, because I always knew that I was destined for the most in life, and as you all are, because you're here listening to this. This is not a coincidence. So then I was like, okay, I need to do this. Let's see how it goes. And naturally, as any 20-year-old would do during lockdown and has never run a successful business before, I asked YouTube, and YouTube said, hey, let's do, any guesses? Maybe? Wait, where's my clicker? Is it there? Yeah, where should I try, guys? There, white label drop shipping. Woo! We love dropshipping. We love AliExpress, Alibaba. We just talk to those suppliers. This is the name of the game. In your 20s, it's just the way to go. I learned Facebook ads, Meta ads. I was addicted to YouTube videos of people even younger than me teaching me how to do this. And then after just a few weeks, I was finally ready to actually put money, my 9-to-5 money, my 9-to-5 post-undergrad money, into Meta ads, okay? So I did it, business failed, did it, business failed, did it, business failed, tested 7 products, and then finally, Eclipse was born. Okay, so Eclipse was my first actual, I made it business. And for this, you can see this was what my screenshots looked like, and I was extremely impressed with myself, honestly, because I went to school for psychology. I did a double major in family studies and psychology, so I didn't know anything about business, but I just knew I wanted to be a millionaire. So I did it, cool. And then after this, I was like, okay, it's actually getting extremely successful. I ended up making $1,000 a day in profit, which was insane. And don't copy my idea, it's copyrighted. I have a patent. And then I was making $1,000 a day. I was like, yo, this is amazing. It's gonna go so well. And then I ended up, I need to find the exact spot for this. Where was I? Does anyone? Okay. And then I shut it down. I shut down my $400,000 business in 8-month profits. I shut it all down. And why? Why did I shut it down? Okay. It was literally because of my ideas around success. So I was like, okay, because of success, my mom told me I have to go do my master's degree, and that's how I'm gonna be successful. I need a master's degree. That's how I'm gonna make the most money. That's how I'm gonna make more than $1,000 a day at 20. And then I was like, okay, I gotta lock in. I gotta do the master's degree. Oh, you're doing it. Okay, that's okay. I'll just point you. So then I ended up choosing the safe route. I was doing the master's, I was doing a full-time job, and I know it's like pretty sad. I was crying a lot because I had to abandon it. But yeah, I just ended up taking the safe route, and I was like, what gives? Like, what gives? Like, I miss my business so much. I was actually successful. I was learning so much more than I was learning in my degree in my first year. And then I was like, okay, what's going on? And then I realized that I actually was self-sabotaging, right? So in our belief system, this is something that I learned through this, in our belief system, we actually have a cap, like a success cap that you can believe that you can achieve. So in that moment, I didn't believe that I can be that person that could make $1,000 a day, 10 grand a day, because I kept getting like more and more sales, I kept seeing more money. So I was like, this is different, this is uncomfortable. Like, my mom immigrated here, like, I don't know what this much money looks like, I don't know what to do with it. So then I was like, just master's degree, go for it, ditch the business, and figure it out, which is crazy. So then everything hit at once. This is me crying. So whoever scanned the code, congratulations. You have this blackmail for when I'm famous, more famous. So this is me crying, driving to my job every single morning. I worked with children with autism, and they were very, very like beautiful, stunning. Like, I loved working with them, but it also brought about a lot of behaviors, like a lot of I had a lot of like aggression, like they would like hit me and call me names, and that's just like how it would go for me to actually be able to change their behaviors. So I had that, and then I also was going through like a rocky time in my relationship at the time, so I was like kind of going through a breakup, and then I was in the last year of my master's. So it was a full-time master's, full-time job, full-time breakup. So it was like bang, bang, bang. So after that I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna sit in this energy, like that's not happening for me. I'm gonna actually like alchemize it, because like, what's going on here? So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pivot completely. I'm gonna break up with the guy, which is great. I ended up finishing the master's, like final stretch, I did it. And then I ended up leaving the job and getting another job that I made like 30K more a year, which was great for me. So yeah, I changed everything. So I alchemized the energy, and then just as soon as I kind of just started changing my belief systems, like changing my behaviors, changing my habits, changing, everything in my life, I was like, okay, I went to a Toronto networking event, and then I met this guy, and he was basically like, yo, you can totally be famous on TikTok if you wanted to. Like, you just need to post like 3 times a day, like for months. And I was like, no. He's like, look. And he showed me, he's like, I have 30,000 followers. And I was like, oh, that's so cool, 30,000 followers. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to make 3 videos a day for 3 months and see what happens. So that's exactly what I did. In just 4 months, I hit 50,000 followers on TikTok at the time. So that was really exciting, and all my work was on what I learned. All my work was on the mindset, on the behavior shift, on the things that I experienced, and then the way that I had to alchemize that energy in order to step into that version of myself that was receiving and comfortable with success. Okay, and then soon after, I kind of ended up I was on a roll, so I was getting all these amazing emails. So I was interviewed by BBC Radio. They actually came to my house. They came to my condo, and they interviewed me, and it hit 318 million people, which is insane. And then the Toronto Blue Jays staff actually invited me to speak to them on mindset. Very exciting. And then I also created an in-person community of women in Toronto. So we have over 1,000 women in the city, and we just do like in-person events on how to change your mindset, how to change your energy based on your behaviors, based on what I learned in my master's degree. So here we're moving on. I'm not even going off my notes. Okay, we'll move on. So this is pretty much what we want to be looking at. So the gap between where you are and where you want to be is always going to be a result of your belief system. Like, there's no way around it. Okay, so where you're at right now, if you want to be that person, if anyone here has not scaled an app to 7 figures and exited successfully, then that could be a limiting belief if that's what you want, right? So think about like your dream biggest goal ever that you've been working on for so long, and you're not there yet. So why aren't you there yet, right? Work, action, behaviors, of course, and then it's your belief system as well. Like, you need to actually like believe that you can be that person, because if you believe in something, you already have it, right? So like, if I believe I'm gonna wake up in my bed, that's guaranteed gonna happen. Like, if I believe I'm, going to text my friend and she's gonna respond like for sure, that's gonna happen. So whatever you believe in, you actually create your reality. And there's a whole science behind it. I'm gonna kind of walk you through that as well. But the whole thing behind that is like your behaviors, what you do every single day. What you do every single day is going to change your beliefs. Then when you change your beliefs, then you can literally exit your app at 7 figures. You can do anything you want, okay? So how many of you here have actually heard of a limiting belief prior to this session? Okay, cool. Okay, nice. And for that, does anyone know what they are?
I would just call it negative thought.
A negative thought, yeah.
So
Yeah.
anything can just be a negative belief, right?
Exactly, yeah. So it's like a negative thought. It's like a subconscious thought. It's something that, kind of comes through your, actually, does anyone know where they come from? You? Yeah.
I think it comes from like a feeling of undeserving.
Undeserving. And do you know where you inherit them from?
Your environment,
Subconscious environment.
Parents.
Who said parents? You. Parents, yes. So you get them through your parents, right? And I like freaking love my mom. She's everything. And I inherited a lot of limiting beliefs through her, right? And that's not a bad thing like at all, because the things that your parents teach you, they're just trying to protect you based on what they've learned from their parents in life, right? But everyone's born on earth with a specific reason. I'm like 1,000% behind that. We're all here for a reason. You're not here for a coincidence. You're not here to live an ordinary life, right? You're here to like fulfill a mission, for sure, right? And then through that, you're not here to follow the limiting beliefs of your parents because their parents had their own mission in life. So that's like the kind of gist behind limiting beliefs and how they kind of hold us back. And then here we can actually go through a few examples of limiting beliefs, and we can use this app I have just to show you. So we'll go here. All right, so I'm just gonna use Whisper Flow, and that's just gonna let me put this in a lot quicker. So does anyone have an example of a limiting belief? Yeah?
Why would I be the 1% that's accepted to white sin?
Sorry, why would I be the one?
Why would I be the 1% of people that's accepted to white sin?
Yeah, like I can't be the 1%. Yeah.
Like 1% is way too unreasonable.
Exactly. Okay, so let's put that in. I can't be the 1% of top founders. And we can add that belief. Anyone else? That was a good one. Yeah?
I don't have a team, I don't have the right people around, and I don't know how to start.
Awesome, yeah. So you gave me 3. I don't have a team, I don't have the right people, I don't know where to start. Cool. And then anyone else? Yeah?
What if I fail?
What if I fail? That's a good one. That's pretty common. What if I fail? Oh. What if I fail? You'll be okay if you fail. But, okay, there you go.
I think the Wi-Fi is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's okay. We're making it work. Okay, we'll switch back to my slides now. Full screen. Fire. Okay, cool. Okay, so like we said, they were actually modeled to us, right? Like through our parents, but that's not like the end all be all, right? We can actually change our limiting beliefs, and it's actually not that difficult to do so. It's not gonna take as long as you think it would, because some people just feel like they're stuck in their belief system. They're stuck where they are. They're just like not making progress. So we looked at our limiting beliefs. So now we had a few examples. So now everyone has a worksheet and a pen. And if you don't, our lovely volunteer can help you out. So I want you to write out a few limiting beliefs that you may have around like money, success, or money, success. And you can just raise your hand if you don't have one. She'll come find you. some water. Neural pathway. Okay, cool. So some of you have finished up. So you just have a few limiting beliefs on there, and there was examples on your sheet as well if you didn't notice them. So basically, the limiting beliefs that we have, and if you look at the neurochemistry and the science behind it, is that we all have neural pathways and that are reinforced over and over and over through these beliefs. So if you have a belief that's like, it's hard to make money, right? That's a reinforcement that you get every single time. Every time you go to work, you're like, oh, it's hard to make money. Every time you go to like work on your app, it's hard to make money. And then this is kind of just something that you'll be seeing a lot, right? Or maybe a limiting belief around like, I don't have enough money, or it's my bank account is always below 4 figures. So if you have that belief system, then every time you go to get groceries, every time you go to buy something, you're going to be reinforcing that because you were like, oh my God, my bank account is so low. Oh my God, my bank account is so low. And like, you'll be tapping your card, right? So it's just like reinforcing that pathway. But the good thing about this is that you can actually rewire your neural pathways in a very simple way. There's a very simple methodology to do this, okay? Even though you've gone through years and years of reinforcing these belief systems around money success, you can actually change them as well because our brains are neuroplastic, which means that they can be changed and malleable and they're adaptable. So the way to do this, we'll go to our next slide. Oh, we did this. Oh wow, I was on a roll. Okay, we'll go back one maybe. So the way to do this, I'll tell you in a second, but now that we actually have identified our limiting beliefs and we know that we have this, we're actually going to use a method that we're going to be able to kind of step into the next version of ourselves after we leave this room. So yeah, now we'll go. So this is a quote by Albert Einstein. So imagination is everything. So it is the preview of life's coming attractions, meaning that whatever you can visualize, whatever you can conceptualize, whatever you can see in your mind, feel in your body, that is what you can actually attract into your life. That's the only way you can do it, because you always will feel something before you experience it. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to go through a little visualization exercise, so you can actually take advantage of the science behind this and do something about this today, right now. Okay, so I want everyone to just take a moment. If you're standing, you could sit, but I want you to just close your eyes. And I'm just going to walk you through like a 1-minute visualization about where you could be, and feel free to enjoy it, okay? So you can shut your eyes. And I need to find my next thing. Okay, so think about exactly what you've ever wanted in your business, in your life. So maybe you've built a team. Maybe you've exited at 7, 8 figures. Okay, how does that feel in your body? What numbers have you dreamt of having in this lifetime? Maybe you start a new venture. And at this point, you don't need to wake up to an alarm. You don't need to wake up to that loud noise in the mornings. You don't need to be struggling every morning to wake up. You can actually take the luxury to relax and sleep in. And now you're somewhere warm. You're in Cabo. You're anywhere you want to be. You're in Bora Bora. On the beach, laying, relaxing by the waves. It's like super calm. Your body's calm, your nervous system's calm. Maybe you can even have your own place, your own house that you wanted, your dream mansion, right? Your dream relationship. How that would feel for you. You can do whatever you want every single day. You can hire the most elite celebrity personal trainer so you get the six-pack that you've always wanted. You hire someone like a luxury chef to meal prep all your meals for all the macros that are going to get you to where you want to be. Everything is just a lot more simple for you now. And the people that you love, you're finally able to spoil them. Like really, really, really spoil them. You can spoil your family, you spoiled your loved ones. You can even take the boys on a trip. What does that version of you believe about money, about time, about what's actually possible in life? It's abundant. There's so much. You can have anything you want. You can do anything you want. You can have anything you want. If you rewire your brain to believe that you can have that, then what you are picturing, the feeling that you have, you can actually step into. Okay, you can slowly open your eyes and hold on to this feeling that you have. Okay, how's everyone feeling?
Awesome.
Awesome. Excited, awesome. Anything else?
I think that most of the time we have this scarcity mindset, especially because we are bombarded by information that's just noise. But at the end of the day, when you listen to people who have achieved the life that you're talking about, it's about understanding what is noise and what is information. And also, this feeling that we have, we should carry it with us. Because what most people don't understand is that it's not about where you are right now, it's about what you want. And if you listen to people who have been successful and who have this life that you're talking, you're describing, at the start, they were just like us. They didn't know, they had a lot of uncertainty. And I think that if we are able to share and create new neural pathways, and we're doing it at a social level, use some social engineering, we can all be successful.
Yeah, round of applause, guys. That was pretty good. That was great. Awesome. So exactly, right? So we can take all that with us. We can really achieve anything you want. Life is abundant. You're not here for no reason. You're here for a mission. You're here for whatever you want, okay? And you can have whatever you want with the right mindset. So now we're going to talk about the science behind all this just a little bit more. So we talked about the neural pathway reinforcement. And then on top of this, I wanted to mention, actually we can go to the next slide. So this is what I learned in my master's, okay? So our mind and our body are connected. I'm sure a lot of you know that, right? So who here has gone to the gym? Awesome, yeah, or worked out at all, yeah, or walked. And then who here has heard of like a mind-body connection that you need to hold at the gym? Yeah. Yeah, you need the mind-body connection, right? Because they are 100% reinforcing each other. It's a loop, it's a pattern. So everyone says like, you need the right mindset and then your behaviors will change. 1,000%. You'll get the right mindset and then your behaviors will change. But because of this, you're actually going to have to go through literally years of therapy in order to do this, which is like pretty annoying in my opinion. And a lot of my friends are therapists and I love them, but I'm like, there's a faster way, guys. Like, please try this, but they can't because they're licensed. So yeah, because a lot of people say mindset first and then body will change, right? Cool. But nobody talks about how your behaviors influence your mindset. Your behaviors will literally change your mind so much quicker than your mind will change your behaviors, right? So even if you're like, oh my God, like I'm not fit, I can't go to the, like I'm not fit, I'm not like a gym girl, like I don't like going to the gym, I don't want to go, like I'm tired, whatever. And then you get in the car, you drive to the gym, you walk to the gym, and then you start doing your workout. You're like, oh my God, I'm not a gym girl, like oh my God, like fuck it, like forget this. And then the next day you wake up, you're like, still not a gym girl, I'm gonna go to the gym, And then in like a week, 2 weeks, you're like, hey, yeah, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go to the gym. Okay, talk to you later, bye. Or like, hey, oh my, should I grab this new workout set? I think it'll be worth the investment. And then you become the gym girl, the gym guy, because your behaviors change your mindset, right? Your mindset didn't change your behaviors. So that's the route I'm like really advocating for, and that's the route I did my master's in that I learned about, okay? Life-changing. Confirmed. So then I took it upon myself to do a lot of clinical research behind this. And I was like, okay, let's actually try it out with something that you can't really measure yet. So then I was like, how can we change our limiting beliefs using our behaviors? I wonder. So I looked into like a ton of research, like 2,000 clinical hours, like did the master's, did a ton of work in it, 7 years of work in it. And then I applied definitions, like operational definitions, to what a limiting belief is. And then we literally measured someone's limiting beliefs and like having them go up. So I actually got to see what that looked like for us, which was super cool. So in addition to this, that's what ended up working out. I learned how to do it. It's through our behaviors, surprise. And this is just Maria's results, okay? And then I started teaching people because I did it for myself, and then I started teaching people online through my videos of like how to do this. And then I got like really good feedback. Like people were genuinely like shifting their entire lives, their entire timelines. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a video of the woman that I worked with. This is Gina, and she was completely able to change her life very quickly.